Welcome to another episode of Rose Resource Room. Today, I'm going to talk about why every parent should attend a homeschool convention. If you've ever felt a little overwhelmed in your homeschool journey, or even curious about new resources, this episode is for you. Maybe you have it on your bucket list, or maybe you wondered, is it even really worth it? Attending a homeschool convention can be one of the most impactful things you do in your journey, whether you're starting out or years in. And here's why. It's like combining professional development, curriculum shopping, and community building, but all in one place. Not hours of searching online, not hours of flipping through a curriculum online, wondering just by the table of contents or the scope and sequence if this is going to be the right fit for you and your child. So let's start by getting real. Homeschooling is amazing, and we recognize that it's also challenging. Some days you feel on top of the world as you're watching your kids light up as they discover something new. And other days, maybe you're just winging it and your nervous system is on edge as you try to survive yet another day. You might ask yourself, am I doing this right? Are my kids getting everything they need? And this is where homeschool convention comes in. Think of them as a cross between a mini university for parents, a hands-on curriculum expo, and a family reunion of like-minded people. At convention, you can attend workshops on teaching strategies, whether it's different philosophies, different approaches to homeschooling. You can attend workshops or keynote speaking on state law requirements, which in these days are becoming ever more important, and even planning for beyond. Maybe you have toddlers who are just in play school and you want to know what's the next step. When should I teach them colors? When should I teach them the alphabet? Or maybe you've already done elementary years and you're like, okay, what's next? Tell me more about high school. You can get guidance on how to support your children who learn differently, from neurodiverse learners to those with neurotypical minds or those who need a little extra scaffolding. Maybe your child has special needs and you wonder, how do I ensure that my child gets that individualized education plan, that IEP, at home? Are you pulling them out of school and giving them the support they need on your own? You can find inspiration from veteran homeschoolers who've been there, done that. And you can also get inspiration from people who have just started, but they've tried so many new things that they too have their story. Homeschool Convention offers workshops, seminars, keynote sessions led by experienced educators and veteran homeschoolers. Think of it as continuing education for you, the parent teacher. Another reason to attend homeschool is community and connection. This is one of my favorite parts, of course, the community aspect. Even if you have friends who homeschool, there's something special about being in a room or convention hall with hundreds or even thousands of families all pursuing the same goal, giving their children the best education possible at home. You can meet parents in the same stage. Maybe you're starting out or you're planning high school credits. Teens and children often have an amazing opportunity as they see all these children pouring in, like, whoa, you homeschool too? And it gives them chances to explore other interests. Maybe they meet someone who talks about their geology collection and the rocks and all the things that they're learning about gems. Maybe they meet a child who loves to hike and go on trails, and then that piques their curiosity. There's so many things that they can be exposed to under your guidance that they can start to pique their interest. And for you, you can find mentors, accountability partners, or just someone who understands your struggles. It's energizing, to say the least. Many parents say that just being in the environment refuels their confidence. You can find your people. I have attended many large conventions where people from all over the world gather, all over the country for the national ones and for the global ones all over the country. It's filled with energy, delight, and information. But I have to say, I often end up connecting with people I wish I could see without having to hop on a plane. So when you have a homeschool convention that's right here in your state, 2 hours away in another state, an hour away in a different state, that's where you want to be because those are more sustainable. You get to meet like-minded families, build friendships, and support networks. You can connect with mentors who've already been where you are and who have taken many roads they wish they didn't, but now they can share that with you as a part of their story to help you on your journey. So you do want to start to attend local conventions and local homeschooling conferences. Talk to your friends in New Jersey, talk to your friends in Pennsylvania, talk to your friends in Delaware, and see what they're doing. Maybe a field trip becomes you hopping over to Lancaster, Pennsylvania to meet up with some friends that you met at a CHAP convention. Maybe you find someone who lives in the same county as you attend a conference in New Jersey. Maybe you go to a tri-state conference or convention and you find someone in Delaware and you make a great day or field trip out of it. Many parents say that that community aspect and that built-in community is one of the most encouraging parts because they feel seen and understood. Another reason for attending a homeschool convention is curriculum and resource exploration. Like I said before, you can order tons and tons of books online and then end up having to return the ones that don't fit or feeling disappointed because it really looked like it was going to work, but it didn't. But when you have the opportunity to hold a book, maybe that's the nerd inside of me who prefers a physical book to read and skip pages rather than a Kindle or an online platform. But it's really a huge benefit seeing curriculum in person. You can touch it, you can compare it, you can see the continuation as you look at book one and book two and book three. You can flip through and say, oh, this is grade four, but I actually think I need grade five because my son has covered all these concepts. Oh, this is the grade one. Okay, so they may have a different scope and sequence. Maybe I need to start at kindergarten because my daughter needs more support here. You can do all that, flipping through books before buying them, comparing multiple programs side by side, asking vendors direct questions. Hey, so the families that you serve, what do they say about this? Do they typically go with A or do they typically go with B? And of course, you get access to exclusive discounts that you're not going to get anywhere else but on that convention floor. So really talking to a vendor who a lot of times have used that curriculum with their own children. A lot of times at homeschool conventions, we're not just talking to salespeople, we're talking to people who have used the curriculum, became empty nesters, and decided to go back and serve with that company because of how much they love the curriculum. This is different from someone just looking for a paycheck. You can say to someone, hey, this child struggles with reading. Do you think this is a fit? Or do you think they should go with this approach instead? And let's be honest, the discounts and the exclusive deals and door prizes and raffles and all the things that come at conventions, that's nothing to take lightly. You can save on hundreds of dollars while also making informed choices, not just buying a bunch of books that will later sit and laugh at you, but buying things that you know that will really work for your family. Pro tip, go with a plan. If you know that you need to start planning for the following year, create a list of subjects or resources that you're curious about. That way, you're not overwhelmed by seeing too many booths or too many different options, but you have a clear understanding of what you're looking for. And as you speak to different vendors, you can see what fits and what aligns. Now, let's talk about fresh ideas and inspiration. Even if you're confident in your homeschool rhythm and your homeschool flow, conventions offer fresh ideas. Maybe you discover a new teaching method that fits your family better. Maybe you put language to something that you've always wanted but didn't know it exists. Maybe you learn about a creative hands-on science ticket or, science kit or a unique literature series or a new co-op model. Sometimes it's just hearing another parent's story that gives you a new perspective. I've also seen conventions with parents leaving with renewed energy, ready to tackle a new semester with enthusiasm. I remember CHAP in Pennsylvania would host these midwinter conferences, and the goal was encouragement. Outside is cold, we feel like we're getting cabin fever, and we just need someone to tell us to keep going, to keep pushing. We want the reminder that we're not in this alone. And you attend a convention and you see people who you're friends with, you meet new friends, you listen to amazing, encouraging speakers, and you leave renewed and refreshed. And that's what a convention does, whether it's in the winter, whether it's in the spring, the summer, or the fall. The goal is to leave you ready to tackle a new semester with enthusiasm, not just the here we go, let's hurry and get through this. We want to make sure that you have new ideas. when you're teaching math, there are many different ways to approach it, and we want to give you those options. We want to introduce you to tools that you didn't even know existed, even if you homeschool for 10 years. And we want to help you redefine your philosophy and your goals, because that's where burnout turns into renewed clarity. When you remember your why, when you remember why you started, when you think of new ways to approach an old situation, this is where you're winning. Another reason, if those are not enough for you to come to convention, are the practical benefits and tailored sessions. Now, conventions often offer tailored sessions. Depending on the size of the convention or the goal or the theme, beginners can get workshops on laws, like I said, schedules, and basic teaching strategies. Parents can attend planning seminars or panels. Special needs families have their own targeted sessions or vendors or Q&As for them to ask questions. You get personalized guidance, not just general advice. And remember, many conventions offer tips for beginners, high school planning, special needs, educational formats or philosophies, and even for working homeschool moms. You can go and ask questions and say, hey, I heard that you mentioned that you worked while you were homeschooling. How did you balance that? Hey, I heard you say that you didn't work while you homeschool. How did your family navigate the financial strains? You could have those conversations one-to-one. You're getting targeted support for your exact stage. So it's not just about the parents, the children actually benefit directly too. Like I said, they're in a space realizing how many other children are on a similar track, walking alongside them with their family. So, as I wrap up, I just want to remind you that homeschool conventions and conferences give you multiple things. It gives you the confidence. You leave knowing that your decisions are supported, and that even if you were doing something in a way that you would have changed, you leave with that renewed understanding of how to implement it. You leave with clarity. You see resources and you learn about strategies and ideas that make your journey smoother, that help you to create that rhythm, help you to create that flow. This one aha moment that says, wow, I've been trying to figure this out. I've been researching and looking for things and asking people, but here I came to this convention and someone went on a little tangent and shared a story that probably wasn't even in their notes. And that gave me the clarity that I needed. And then lastly, you get connection. You meet other families, you find your virtual mentors, you find those Titus 2 mamas and other children who can become lifelong supporters. So even if you're hesitant or feeling a little overwhelmed, I encourage you to try it at least once. Walk the halls, attend a few sessions, and soak in the energy. You'll leave inspired, equipped, and recharged. So if you've attended a homeschool convention, I'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Please leave it in the comments and connect with us on social media and share your story. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you at convention.